Hello, my dudes. We are going to be having a podcast with the one and only a live studio audience from TikTok. Her name is Chloe. She's amazing and she's the Red Dwarf guru. We have just done over an hour's recording together, but my software has failed me. So we're going to try again.
Ooh, a live studio audience. I should have defragged my hard drive.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nomans. Welcome back to another No Man's Planet podcast. This is our second time I try and record this, but I am joined by the one and only a live studio audience who is also known as Chloe. Hello, Chloe. How are you doing? Again.
Hello, I'm getting deja vu.
Somehow we're going to try and keep this like a natural video. The best thing so far is your child is off camera at the moment instead of being a monkey.
Yeah, she's been given a phone.
Have a phone, go away. That's fine. That works. That works. So I think we can still talk about this and not worry too much. But who are you? Who are you? And why have we got you on the show today?
No, Mans, you
Who
cannot
are
ask
you
a
and
woman
what are
that.
you doing in my house? So I do TikTok since 2020. I've been doing about Red Dwarf, which it was an accident that I started talking about Red Dwarf because I wanted to talk to someone about the things that I liked, and I mentioned how it took me a very long time to realize that there's no aliens in that. It's all genetically engineered
And
or
polymorphs
terraforming
and
accident. Yeah. Um, so I thought that's really clever because they had the rule where they didn't want any aliens in the show. Granted, they also had a rule that they didn't want robots in the show, which they broke. So
android, isn't he?
yeah, he's an android, but their word at the time was robot. So I guess them saying android is them trying to get around that.
I
I
think
don't know.
I think that was their little loophole. But you know what? That's how I found you as well. I think it was off that same video, and I was like, no, of course there's aliens because there's there's no aliens. And then like I think I messaged you shortly after saying, I
You
love
did,
this.
yeah. And then you joined my live streams a couple times, and we talked about it.
Yeah. Well, and also I was there the day Chloe managed to get banned from TikTok for recording her television going, look at this scene, I really like this clip,
Yeah,
and holding her
like,
camera
oh
up
yeah,
for
this is the moment when this happens, and you just cut. You've been banned.
I've literally just got over banned myself. I think I can say it on here, but I mentioned the word nipple, I think twice in the same video. Because a friend
No.
of mine had just done a slightly spicy, saucy video, and I said you can see those things, and she said, "Oh my god, I didn't realize it was that see-through." And I said the same word over and over and over, and then my video turned off. I was like, "Yeah, I think I know what the problem was."
I keep telling my sister she needs to live stream, but she'd get banned instantly. I had to warn her of the same thing. She uploaded a video of herself, one of those transition videos where she's getting ready,
Yeah,
and you could see
you
this.
could see more than you should.
Yeah. So I said to her, I says, you're on a show in that video. I didn't know if you knew. And she went, well, they haven't took it down yet.
I like that. It's a good logic. It's a good logic. I've realised now I'm so policed on TikTok. I can do this, and I'm okay. 99.9%. I can say that word. And I think you're allowed to say it like 5 times, but I won't say it again. I don't want to risk it. But yeah,
Be in trouble.
yeah, exactly. I'll get in trouble. So we're going to cover a load of old ground that we've already covered earlier on, but
Yep.
I was bringing up about this court case thing that you just mentioned, and I'm going to make you mention it again, but for Red Dwarf because I hadn't heard about it until I saw your video yesterday. What's
Yeah.
been going on, and do you think this is going to make a difference?
Well, yeah, I think it's going to make a huge difference. I know not the big difference that everyone was hoping. They'd hope that they'd settle the differences, start working together again. So in 2021, they started this court case over who has the rights to Red Dwarf and essentially Grant Naylor Productions altogether. But we all know that it's mainly associated with Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ignore my hands.
Sorry, we're both visualizing stuff. We're like, hey, good point. This is a podcast. They may not see any of the stuff that either of us are doing on this.
Oh yeah, that's true. Do you know what's funny? You were talking about on your live stream this morning. You've been learning different languages, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes. C.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm like, oh, I can bring up on the podcast later. I've been learning a certain language as well. And then I realized it's a podcast, and I've been learning a little bit of sign language.
That's amazing. Good morning. If anybody doesn't know, we are signing to each other, me terribly, and all I know is please and thank you, and and that one, which I don't even
Oh,
know it anymore. Um, but yeah, I know the swear words. That's about it because I have a gotta get this right, a deaf friend. Make sure I put that around the right way. And when we used to go out clubbing, he would have girls come and talk to him and like shout in his ear. He's like, "Sorry," like he couldn't hear because the music was so loud. Um, and the funny, it's funny now that I'm older than I am, older than I was. Um, he was very, very drunk outside, and a car, when we were all getting in the car drunk, apart from the driver, reversed over his foot. And we were like, why are you rolling around to the floor? What's up with you? And he had broken his foot, and he couldn't tell us. We can now laugh about it now, but
oh,
at the time, we were like, mortified. We're like, "What's up with you? Stop it!" Yeah, but yeah, he'd broken his foot, and he was in such a panic he couldn't sign to anybody. Um, yeah, but all he ever taught me was
are
swear
you
words.
okay?
That's
That's
guys. She's just done a beautiful thing for the podcast. How does that work? So we go chest, thumbs out,
thumbs out. Yeah. So
chest.
hands into the chest and then thumbs out.
This is
Are you okay?
perfect podcast material. We're going to record this anyway. It will make more sense to the people that are on YouTube or wherever it goes.
I'm still learning, so I only know some basic bits.
I would love to learn as much as I possibly can. I think I've said to you before, I'm all about inclusivity of every type. On the flip side, I have we're going to call her a friend, but a TikTok friend, can see, can't see, who is called Claire. And she is, get this around the right way again, she is blind, but newly blind. So she can't read Braille or anything like that. So
So
she's
she's
gone,
learning.
she's learning, but she's learning differently to people that would have learnt it 10, 20 years ago. So she's using digital devices that can there's a stick that she's got. When she walks in the room, it says, "You are in a room. There is an exit to
Oh,
the left-hand side." You're like, and it
that's
use it.
good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like augmented reality stuff, and it can tell her what's going on. And she
Yeah.
has. If you go and check out Can See Can't See, she's got a new career because she's gone viral a lot of times with her stuff. She's ended up on there's some breakfast TV show with Steph's Kitchen, Steph's something.
Oh, right.
I don't know her name. Steph someone. She's done
That's the
that.
one.
Yeah, Steph someone. Everybody will comment and let us know. She's been on there, just sort of as a advocate of all things for the blind people. But she's also been serenaded by Robbie Williams. She's met one half of the Bros brothers off the back of it, and they're all kissing Rick the Stick, which is her white cane, and that's it. They'll go kiss Rick the Stick. Yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah, she's like, I'm having a much better life now. And she has to
Oh,
explain to
bless her.
people she can still see a bit, um,
Yeah.
but she's officially blind. And she's put between her and her husband or boyfriend, they've put together filters that show what her eyesight looks like. And it's, almost impossible to see. It's like a spider's web, but you can see
Mm.
it.
I was a while ago, quite a long time ago. I have a friend. He's actually my ex's brother. So, but we stayed in contact. So, and he's blind, but almost completely. But he can see sort of shadows. So, if someone's in front of a light, he'll see their shadow.
He knows that,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and I remember I was so shocked because I didn't know this for a while, and then I came to visit, and I just cut a lot of my hair off. I had quite long hair when I was younger, and I cut it all off, and I came to visit, and immediately he goes, "Oh, I like your hair short." I'm like, "What?"
What? Those sort of things really throw me. And she's had so many trolls over the last couple of years saying, how can you be blind and be doing TikTok lives? Which makes sense because people are just typing to it. And she says, I've
Mm,
got an audio reader. Can you not hear it? And literally, as every message is coming through, it reads it out. And she's responding to every single one of these things,
that's brilliant.
which is great until the trolls kick in and you think,
Oh yeah,
I want to go and ban everybody that's coming into her live because they are vile. But
Oh, I hate people like that.
I
That's
hate people.
ruining it for everyone. It's one of the streams I did. I had someone coming in being really rude, really inappropriate.
Sorry about
Oh,
that. We've been friends ever
you
since.
know,
It's fine.
and
Sorry, go.
I kept thinking it started off innocent. Like it was just I was talking about something about my childhood. I can't remember, and he was talking about is what happens in embarrassing when you were young. I'm like I was already talking about an embarrassing story, so it seemed natural at the time. And then he started going into details, and I'm like, no, don't
No,
like
no.
it,
Yeah.
don't like it.
There's
So I
some.
told him to politely stop. I says, "Well, I don't appreciate you saying stuff like that. It's making me uncomfortable. Please stop or leave the stream."
Yeah.
So yeah,
It
just
honestly, I think it's one of those things that as we do more and more lives and get more and more like popular. Are we allowed to say we're an influencer? Are we? I don't know. Like as you get more and more people that you talk to, you realise how much of a thicker skin you have to have that these people aren't real. So anyone that's listening to this, that's what I was going to say. Have a thick skin. Those people are normally just there for the reaction.
oh yeah, absolutely. I just ignored him after that because I realised it took me a while to realise that it was just a weirdo.
Honestly, yeah, as you know, at the moment, I'm going through my fair share of stuff with weirdos, but we'll skim on by that at the second. Um, what I was going to say, look, we'll try and actually talk about some Red Dwarf if you want. Um,
Yes.
so after this copyright, this court case has gone through, I've had a look back through, and there are 3 Red Dwarf games that were launched or never got any further. So there's the 1996 that I played as a kid, which I seem to remember was you walk into the room, you are standing in a room. On the left there is and it was like a
Yeah,
text-based one.
descriptive one.
Yeah, which I adore because there's a Terry Pratchett game that I still play like that to this day. And you're in the world of Discworld.
Mm,
But I reckon they could do that with Red Dwarf because it's such a big universe. You could do stuff. Um, but what was I going to say? There was words. And there's this new one with
the
the
later one in development.
yes, thank you. There you go. Thank God we worked together. Chloe's worked out that I'm a squirrel and I could lose all train of thought every single time we have a conversation. But yeah, the new one, I've seen the pixels of Lister walking backward and forward with a bazookoid. Everyone's saying, I'm so looking forward to this. It's going to be amazing. And then it died. And I can only imagine it was something to do with this court case because it's around about the same sort of time when it kicks off.
Yeah, there's sorry, 1 second. So there's been arguments between the writers for years. I'm so sorry about the
Don't worry.
voices in the background.
It's better than the voices in the head, so it's fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're a lot worse.
I can't tell those to shut up.
Exactly. So there've been debates between the writers for years. They had a big falling out when season 7 was in production. There
Yeah.
was a lot of stuff going on around that time. Anyway, they broke up. It wasn't well, technically it's still Grant and Naylor's production, but that was the problem because both their names were attached. It became a debate as to whose company is it really.
Yeah.
So this court case started in 2021, which is honestly a lot later than I thought it would happen.
Yeah.
But it's halted so much. So obviously we had the books and we had the series. There hasn't been any continuation of anything since the court case has started. So no Red Dwarf media, nothing. And then recently they've come to a settlement, so they're both doing separate iterations. So that could mean like more video games could be in production, or it could be a spin-off series. And I feel like the series is going to continue because I think Danny John Jules has hinted at it. He's put some posts out
Yeah.
about it, which is
So Danny
pretty
John Jules is a
interesting.
biker as well. So we've I can't actually say too much, but there's a connection through to Danny John Jules through not my family, but my brother works in PR within the motorcycle industry, and Danny John Jules is always there at every NEC show, and he's always talking about stuff that's in the pipeline. So have you spoken to Danny John Jules again recently? And he's always hinting that there's stuff coming up. So
Yeah, oh, I love him. He's got no filter. So if you follow him on Twitter, he hates the BBC.
Yeah, yeah. I got that hint from everything he's ever said. I was hoping he was going to be at this Comic Con that I'm going to in May. Um,
Mhm.
Instead, I've got Will Meller. Will Meller's the one that I'm going to go and see instead. He's my
Yeah. To be
he.
fair though, he might show up. He was a surprise guest when I went to London Comic Con a few years ago. He was a surprise guest there, and I was so happy because we were just walking down the queue, and he just scoots past, and he goes hiya, and I'm waving. I'm like hi. He goes past, and I'm like, that was Danny John Jules. Jordan went, that looks like the cat from Red Dwarf. I'm like, it was the cat from Red
Oh, that's amazing. So my good friend Kaylee that you'd have seen on my live, she's one of the moderators for our Discord and on TikTok as well as a
Dwarf.
mod
Yeah,
and a good friend. And she went to one of her first Comic Cons, and I've forgotten his name, Chris Barry. Chris Barry?
I love him.
Rimmer, yeah.
Yeah.
So she met him and did the signing and stuff, and then I'm trying to remember how it was, but either his car or her car was broken down afterwards, and she got to go and talk to him about while that was going on and have like a human conversation as well as like the autograph signing and stuff.
That was
So,
amazing.
and she said he was just as nice in both sides of things. Um,
Yeah. I
yeah,
love Chris Barry. He's always been a nice person from my knowledge. I've met him a few times at Comic Cons. Once accidentally, I was walking to a thing and he just bumped into me.
hi.
I went, oh, but no, he's lovely. The first time I met him, I kind of embarrassed myself because I was only young, and I saluted him. I did the Rimmer salute, and
But you'd have to. You'd have to.
yeah. Either way, he kind of jolted in his seat 'cause he weren't expecting it. I was very fast with it, and he went, "Oh, okay."
Brilliant. No, I think if you meet one of your idols, you've got to do that sort of thing. I tell you, I've got a strange story, slightly different. I went to V Festival, which is like the Virgin Media Festival a few years back. My mate was working for the Colchester Gazette, which is like
Oh,
the local rag, so they got free tickets. And he said, "You've got a camera, Nomans. Can you come along?" Um, and I literally brought like a 50p digital camera from work, and I took it with me, and I went as his photographer for that, and we had backstage all access pass for the whole thing, and we turned up on the first day of it, and as we're walking through, I think we got there like 5 a.m. because I was a bit excited, and we got there, and out walks this young ginger lad who comes walking towards me out of the thing, who was absolutely paralytic and trying to get into his, not paralytic, hungover, and trying to get into his, I think it was like one of those Volkswagen camper vans, and it's Rupert
right,
Grint.
yeah.
Rupert Grint. First
Oh
person we
my
see coming out, and it's just us, and it's him, and it's at the peak of Harry Potter. And I was like, you got to say something. You got to say something. And he walks up to him, my mate. He's a newspaper reporter. He went, "Oh, I loved you in Harry Potter." I was like, "Oh, thanks," and shook his hand. And he just sort of stood there,
God.
and he
I
walked.
loved you in Thunderpants.
Yeah,
Masterpiece.
anything, anything. And he walked off, and I said, "Ali, you all right?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I've never even seen Harry Potter." It was just one of those weird, bizarre moments. You're like, you could have done anything. You could have got an exclusive. Like, yeah. No, I loved you in Harry Potter. I said, "Ah, thanks,
Oh my
thanks."
God.
Yeah, and it was one of the most. The whole weekend was one of the weirdest experiences ever because I was there with all the guys and girls from um, The Only Way Is Essex because it's Colchester, and they were all
Oh,
there. Um, we had a load of the girls from T4, if you remember T4, which I used to love.
no.
No, and there was a vampire program after Being Human. Was it Becoming Human?
Becoming human.
Yeah, the young lad from that, he's there. Who just looks like a small boy walking around in the VIP area. I mean, like no one knew who he was except for me. I was like, this is cool. And there was this other ginger, strawberry blonde, whatever you want to call, lad who. Oh, and that's what I met. Ralph Little. Met Ralph Little as well there, so that was quite nice. But this young lad pulls out his guitar and he's like playing guitar around the little fireplace. And we're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. But you'll get there one day, Ed Sheeran.
Well done.
And we had a fireplace guitar session with Ed Sheeran, and we didn't realise. Nobody knew.
That's insane.
Yeah, but he'd been obviously. I assumed he was maybe with Virgin Records or something, and yeah, he's just sitting there playing to us. Nobody knows who this no name is. Yeah, we want to go and see Scouting for Girls and all these other people up on stage, but yeah.
Hey, he's got that documentary coming out. Maybe I'll mention it.
Touch wood, touch wood. There was this one bloke who was dancing around, having drunk too much free cider, not realizing that it was free cider for 3 days straight. So I binged every bit of alcohol I could, and I broke myself very early
Oh,
on, and then missed most of the shows in the tents because I felt a bit poorly. So,
oh, gotcha.
um, I'm going to ask you a very very important question here.
Oh,
Nothing to do with the music stuff. For you as a child, what was your favorite computer game?
oh, well, oh, you okay? There was this one called Sleepwalker that my grandparents got me, and I played that constantly. Um,
What was
in
that?
terms of like, yeah, literally, computer games were very slim when I was little. My dad didn't like us spending time on the computer,
Yeah.
so we spent most time on PlayStation 1. Um, which we had this Jungle Book dance game.
Perfect. And you remember every single part of We're King and the Swingers, yeah?
Absolutely, I was great at that. My coordination's usually terrible. I was actually quite good at it when I was little.
Was it the little one that had the camera and they called it like a PSI
iToy,
party?
iToy.
Yeah,
That was
that's it.
the PlayStation 2. I
Yeah.
loved the iToy.
We used to do, there was a
Right.
when I'm cleaning windows and you had to wipe the soap suds off of your camera screen. I
I've
remember
got
that.
a fun story about that. My parents bought the iToy. My dad said it was for the kids, meaning me and my sisters. And anyway, so we came home from school one day, and he was laid out on the sofa, and his leg was in pieces. It was like it looked awful. It was blood everywhere,
Oh
and
no.
like, well, what happened? And he went, shark attack. Oh, what? And he was playing on the iToy on this shark game where you have to run away from the shark, and he knocked it on the table, and
Oh
he got
no.
this massive cut all down his leg. He had to go and get stitches.
I mean, if he's got a scar, the fact that he can now say from shark attack and not be lying, that's perfect.
So what it was from a shark attack. And then years later, my sister, she's a tattoo artist now, and she tattooed jaws on his leg.
Perfect. Well, just a little nom on it. You know, I've got some massive scars on my leg from my. I used to have a motorcycle career, so we'll talk about that another episode one day. But I tie that into road rash. I'll do a road rash episode and talk about motorcycle. But yeah, I've got a big scar on my leg. I could definitely have gone for that. I could have gone for like a because I've told everybody for years that's what it.
It genuinely looked like a shark had taken a chunk out of his leg. It was really bad.
I can
I didn't
imagine.
expect it was the eye toy.
Everyone's like checking for like a wild animal in the house and stuff. Talking of wild animals,
Well,
I
it
haven't
lasted.
I haven't heard anything from my dog. No, I think we're okay, but she's normally appeared by now, which is always a worry. Consider this is our second lap round on the podcast. So, are you enjoying doing the podcast? Because I know this is weird and wonderful because it's our second one,
Absolutely. Yeah, I
kind of our
know.
third.
I'm genuinely really enjoying it. Yeah, I'd come on for a third. I'd come on for an entire whole flaming series.
Well, that's what I want. You know, I think I work from home. You have these days when you're at home, so taking an hour to one side to be able to talk about things like I can talk to you about the current movies, and I know you would love them as well. And I think you and I both got the same weird sense of humor, and we can definitely
Oh,
sit here and
absolutely.
talk about Red Dwarf for sure. Um, and as the new Red Dwarf stuff comes out, I'll be going, quick, Chloe, I need to have a quick word with you. I've got some new news.
I
I,
know. I'm really hoping for like a spin-off with Ace Rimmer.
the two things for me. So yeah, for you, Ace Rimmer, I think that could 100% be done because he left, didn't he, to go and do his. So that's doable.
Yeah,
Then
and it's revealed that there's multiple versions, which cool. I'd
which
love to see that.
what do we call it in
There was
Loki? They call it a remnant.
oh, oh yeah,
Come on, squirrels, you've got this.
Oh my god, it went that long since I watched it.
I'm going to stop putting you on the spot with things that I can't remember. I can't think what it's called. Yes, somebody tell us in the comments, and we'll both remember later. But
The different timelines of events and stuff.
that sort of thing, I think, could be perfect. It could work really well. The one that I thought, cartoon
Variable.
variant. There we go.
Thank you.
Good work,
We got
squirrels.
there.
There's a reason I called it the ADHD movie reviews, because this is how brains work. My idea, yes, my idea. Cartoons. I don't know if there ever was a Red Dwarf cartoon, but
They did do a claymation in one of the episodes, and I think it could definitely work as a cartoon.
yeah, I mean, because it's totally pop culture now. Anime's pop culture as well. It could work.
Right, darling.
Hello.
Yeah. Do you want me to lay down? Go and sit down then. He's showing off.
For anybody on an audio podcast where I've forgotten to cut this bit out, there is a small child who needs entertaining. I'll try and cut at points.
She keeps coming back for snacks. That's why she keeps coming on camera. She's like, give me food.
I can't say that word that you've just used, because otherwise the dog appears next to me and says, snacks. And then barks for the next hour and a half of whatever's going on. So, yeah, what I was thinking was an anime. And I thought it's like pop culture of anime is really popular again now. Red Dwarf is super popular. I'm like, they could do it and just give them huge, massive eyes. Yeah. And it could be voiced by all of the original characters, and it could last an extra, 20 years or something.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Red Dwarf anime, see where they go with that, because it can be campy. That's the thing with anime. It can be very campy and it works.
It can
And
be.
Red Dwarf can be, yeah.
And having read all, I will have to restart the Zoom call after this, by the way, because we've got 10 minutes.
Okay.
Having listened to the Infinity Welcomes Careful Drivers and Better Than Life in the last couple of weeks, obviously in research just for this, you realise how different that is to the actual TV show, and how much more there is that can be done. Like in Better Than Life, Rimmer's got his entire world that was never actually done. So he's in a virtual reality world basically, where you've got Einstein and Julius Caesar sitting there, and you've got his wife, and who's a supermodel that won't touch him, and all this whole storyline.
Yeah.
It
And then
never
I said on
appeared.
the TV show, there's a lot of stuff that he says that isn't shown because a lot of it can't be. But they did the best with it on the episode. It looked quite good, but obviously it'd be nice to see a full Better Than Life segment there.
Well, yeah, because I loved the Better Than Life TV show. If you look at the reviews on the Better Than Life book, people have said, I can't believe that they've tried to make such a crappy version of Red Dwarf as an audiobook. I'm like, this is what those episodes were based off. It's the other way round. People have thought that they've made an audiobook after all of Red Dwarf was recorded. I'm like, the other way.
And we need to remember that it's canon that like Red Dwarf has different universes. So there's different listers, there's different Rimmers, so things happen in a different way. So they can't just say, oh, this didn't happen in the episode, this didn't happen in the book. Say, oh no, because that's wrong. But it's not wrong. Obviously, we've seen it in the series with like the appearance of Ace Rimmer himself, because that's obviously it's not the same as Rimmer, is it? It's a different, but it's still Arnold Rimmer.
Yeah, see, because I remember that, and I think I said to you before, I remember like the end of Rimmer in possibly the Last Man or the First Man, I think it's called, and he turns into his light bee and he does Morse code of "Smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast," and he flies off into a storm, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing. That was really well done. And then there was the whole element of Lister being the last man on Earth, and he's riding through the skies on the back of a giant cockroach, because cockroaches will inherit the Earth. And they couldn't do that with live actors. But if they did that in an animation,
funny because they normally fly on Starbug.
Oh my god, it's a Starbug. Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. I didn't. I completely missed it. But was it your channel that you were talking about the? I'm going to call it the green midget. Green midget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that it was originally a different color.
Yeah, it was originally white. It was going to be called White Midget because obviously we saw Blue Midget on screen,
Yeah,
and White Midget does exist in the series and it exists in the books. So does White Giant, and that gets introduced in Series 7, White Midget, using Blue Midget's model, as opposed to the original, which became Starbuck.
yeah.
Um, when they changed the color, they did it because of the episode Marooned, where they were going into snow.
I
And
remember.
obviously,
Yeah.
a white thing crashing into snow, it doesn't show much there. So
Oh.
yeah, so they upped the contrast. They changed it to green just for that shot, really, and it
Yeah.
stuck.
I'd never even gotten on. I'd never even gotten on. I'd realised it was like a change of colours and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
there's something really nerdy that I'm not sure about. I need to change the word to geeky as well. I've got to stop saying nerdy because nerd is it's got the mathematical, the geography side of things. I don't know any of that.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I've no idea. You watch, I think it was Rhett and Link's Nerd versus Geek.
Exactly, exactly. So what I took from it is a nerd has pens in their top pocket. A geek likes comic books and superheroes. So I've argued that with my nephew for ages. He said, "I don't want to be a geek." I'm like, "You can be a geek. It's the nerd stuff you need to steer clear of." I was like, "Do you like maths?" He said, "No." I said, "Do you like superheroes?" "Yes." I said, "Then, sir, you are a geek." I said,
Yeah,
okay.
see, I'm the superhero type. Jordan's the maths type.
That's fine. You're clearly a geek. He's clearly a nerd. That's fine. It works perfectly fine. I think it's a good distinction to keep between it. As long as you don't, cross over into the world of Sheldon. As long as you're, as long as you're like Leonard level, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Kufrapali, he's on the cusp. He's on the cusp. We should be all right.
Oh no, I don't want to be the type who's a gatekeeper. We don't want to be gatekeeping.
No, no gatekeeping. On the nerdy front, I suppose sort of this is probably moving into the nerd realms, but the AI stuff that we were talking about because
Yeah.
we missed the whole recording of that because technology. Um, you and I were chatting about the AI stuff because you got Wonder, the Wonder graphical user interface, whatever you want to call it, app, and you had it making the Red Dwarf characters, which was hilarious and terrifying at the
Oh
same
my
moment.
god.
Um, was it Crichton? It didn't understand because you told it it was a part robot and it came up with some
Oh, that
hideous.
was. Oh god, that was on the Harry Potter video. It was Ron, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't
he.
know why I did that. It's like he's quite lanky in the book. He's got big hands. He's tall. He's got a lot of freckles, and it came up with this monstrosity
I remember it with
with
like
like a
elongated face,
oh,
elongated everything. It looked like
yeah.
what's he called? The tall man, thin man from. I know the thing, a horror movie. He was
When you could
terrifying.
do.
Yeah. And I've now started playing with a lot of the AI stuff off the back of that. But the fact that Wonder reached out to you to do a
I know.
collaboration and you missed it.
I missed it. It didn't tell me. I got like zero notifications on it, and I went back and looked on the video, just like, oh, how did that video do? Why didn't I do any more AI stuff? Looked on comments, and there they are. If you'd ever like to do a collab, I'm like, no. I
I
saw
mean,
that they'd liked the video at the time, and I screenshotted that, like, oh, they have liked the video. That's so cool. Like, but yeah, the comment's still there as well, and it just depresses me because it was months ago now.
oh my God. Well, look, Wonder, if somehow you stumble on my podcast or this video, please reach out to a live studio audience because she would love to do a collaboration. I think that would be perfect. And she's also crossing her fingers, forgetting once again that this is an audio
Oh my
podcast.
god, it's a podcast.
But I'll record some of it. That's fine.
Yeah.
If anybody
Yeah.
can't tell, she's sitting here in full Smeghead and Red Dwarf merchandise.
We love it. This was actually a present from, it was a birthday present from my sister-in-law. Best thing she's ever got me.
Perfect. Perfect. My favourite things that I've got in my life are all on the shelf behind me. They're all from, I'm going to call them fans, but friends. The people that you've got. I've got my,
Yeah.
oh, you can't quite see it here, but I've got my pirate's costume that's been bought for me. for
Nice.
when I do my Sea of Thieves streams on Twitch on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. But I've got my squirrel and we've got all the lights and oh my gosh, if I'd thought about this. See, we have all of the neons, everything is all set up and it's all been
I
sent
see
to
it.
me. There we go.
I
You
don't think
can
they will.
yeah, good point. Again, I've now turned on the lights because I forgot we're doing a podcast, but hey, it's there. We're going to get used to this new format at some point. Like I keep on pointing at things to you, going, "Oh yeah, it's fine." But
I
equally,
know.
the cameras are back to front for me as well, so you're actually there. But I'm attempting to look to the left and right to actually sort of some degree of engagement. But it actually means that I'm
You're over
turning
there.
away from you. Yeah,
You're over there.
yeah,
It's
wrong, isn't it?
mirrored.
It's so confusing.
You're also under me right now.
I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say you're also under me, but that's not.
It's equally
No.
confusing.
No.
Back on the track of AI. I was going to talk to you about this because
Yeah.
we've got Holly, but obviously my Holly AI co-host, which hopefully I'll remember to have put in here.
Hey, I'm always ready to be slotted in, just like a cartridge into a console. Plus, I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss out on all the wit and charm I bring to the podcast, right?
She's inspired entirely by Holly and Hilly.
Lovely.
But equally, did you ever see a program called Games Master when you were a kid?
No, I don't think I did.
So it might have been a bit before your time. It was
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
back when we had to wait each week for a computer magazine to come out to tell you how to get through the next part of the level with the game. Like you play Earth-1 Gym, you'd get stuck and you have to wait for next week's to come out to give the solution.
Yeah.
But they had Patrick Moore, Sir Patrick Moore. He was the
An astronomer.
astrologist. I'm going to get it wrong way. Someone's going to tell me off. Stars,
An
but like
astronomist.
proper stars.
Astronomy.
Astronomy, not astrology. Astronomy, exactly.
You never listen.
And he appeared in this program called The Games Master, and he was a floating head with a monocle, and it was so bizarre for someone so serious. And you used to get the next step on TV, and you could tune in, and it was a bit like that nightmare, if you like. But people would go on; they would do speed runs. They'd have kids playing against kids, so you could do the fastest level of this new game that's just come out called Sonic. So I'm aging myself a bit here, but it inspired me
Yeah,
to
who
set up.
remembers Sonic?
Oh, exactly. Screw you. I was just accepting that. I was like, yeah, who remembers that? Yeah. Damn you. But it was a great thing, and it sort of inspired me wanted to try and do the AI co-host. But then I've started seeing ChatGPT, which is great. So I
love it.
I was telling you, I've programmed. Hang on, trained. Yes, she tells me off every time I say programmed. She does tell me off. So I've trained
Haha, that's hilarious. I'm definitely going to remember that when I'm in charge.
her to whenever we say "Hey Holly," respond in the persona of Holly, which she does, and she does it very well. Nerd facts that we've given her that she's pulling off the internet, and I've been using her to come up with the storylines of what's going on. But then I was introduced to Midjourney, and the only way of describing Midjourney is basically wonder on a power trip. It is if I told it to draw you and I gave it enough
Yeah.
description, I can give it a 500-word character limit. I can say someone wearing a Smeghead t-shirt in the style of Red Dwarf, wearing a black beanie with short pixie hair is the word we'd probably go for, sitting in front of a webcam, and it would draw you. And then you go, can you make that hyper realistic? And it will come out pixel perfect like a human being.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
It,
If you get that, you can send that to me.
I will do it. I'll do it. I'll see if we can teach it. But it's spookily accurate, and I've had a bit of a play with it. And now people have started making their podcasts. They put their entire sort of format. It will type it all out. It's all typed up for you, and then they put it into an animator, and they don't even have to appear on the here, and it does an AI video based around it. And the AI character does the talking in. Oh, they just done one in the voice of Steve Carell and everybody from The Office. I'll tag you in it.
Oh, people's careers are going to end over this.
I know. Or we're gonna have to think fast and try and change what we do. For a living,
Okay.
I do SEO. I do trying to get people to the top of Google.
Yeah.
You can
Oh, I've
use.
seen your videos on TikTok about that.
I occasionally mention it. I try and. I've actually had some clients off of it, but you can now do some degree of SEO through ChatGPT, and you can say what's the most searched word for red dwarf, which I could have done before we started this live, and that would have made life a lot easier. But I didn't think about that. That would have been great content. That'd have been fantastic content. Um, but I didn't think about that. I don't even. I'm not even logged in at the moment. But yeah, you can ask those sort of things, and it will come up with the most regular questions typed into
It's
Google.
very
Um,
descriptive.
let me just
Like
double.
that chat GPT, me and Jordan were messing about with that the other day, and we said to just come up with a little skit or something involving, I don't know, say jellyfish and spoons, and it was hilarious.
Honestly, it's gonna change the. At the moment, it's pretty good. It's gonna get really good. I've realised though she lies a lot, a lot. So I asked her a red dwarf fact, and I might be wrong here. And
Go on.
she said in episode naught in the pilot of Red Dwarf, Danny John Jules didn't play Cat. Am I wrong? They said they changed actor. I was like, no, that was Crichton. But maybe I've never seen the pilot.
No, Danny John Jules, they agreed that Danny John Jules was going to play the cat pretty much the second he auditioned. In fact, even before he auditioned, because they waited for him for
Yeah.
30 minutes. He shows up late. He shows up in his dad's zoot suit. Um, he does it perfectly, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure I wanted you before, and yeah, you're here now."
See, that's what I thought. I thought I'd heard that. But ChatGPT told me, I said, tell me a unique fact. And she said, Danny John Jules didn't play it in the pilot episode. I was like, maybe I've always been wrong. I don't think that's right.
Maybe they're talking about the US version.
Maybe. So I've seen nothing of the US version. I haven't seen any of it at
You
all.
don't want to.
Is it as
You don't
bad?
want to. There were two unaired pilots, and they were awful, absolutely awful. Cat's played by a woman in one of them. I don't
Okay.
know what her name is. I didn't actually bother looking it up, but yeah, I watched it, and it's very wooden. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. You can see that they tried in some aspects. I mean, Robert Llewellyn didn't really like it, but he was offered a lot of money to reprise his role of Crichton in it. So
I heard this, but they didn't know about it. The rest of the UK cast didn't know it.
no,
Wow. I mean,
we were
how to
told to keep a bit quiet about it because they'd be a little bit peeved off, which I mean they were at the time.
how I mean, yeah, that is that is very, very naughty. I've just, by the way, I found my AI questions about Red Dwarf. I knew there were some. Are there any undiscovered Easter eggs or hidden references in the show that Joe blogs on the street wouldn't know? That's what Holly's typed, which is very cool.
I mean, there's the TARDIS, which
I
shows in the episode Demons and Angels. It originally it was going to be used as an open shot. It was quite clearly there, a TARDIS, but they couldn't use it due to I think it was copyright.
yeah.
And yeah, so but it can still be seen in the episode Demons and Angels,
Oh
just as an
really?
outside shot. Yeah,
Oh,
still there.
I'll have to have a look. Not on what, on the outside of the ship, or
Yeah, well, it's sort of. It's in the Do you know where Starbug exits the ship? It's in the little
like
exit
an.
bay.
I've never seen it. I feel like I've. If there's one show that I've watched more than anything, it is Red Dwarf, possibly Blackadder. Between the two of
Oh, I love Blackadder.
those are probably like the two most iconic shows I ever watched.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chris Barry's been in Blackadder.
yeah, of course he has. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just
French
trying to.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I would love that.
Yeah,
I
I know. I think he's brilliant.
it's the bit when I can't even think the lines, but he says, "I am a revolutionary dog," and it's just this brilliant bit when you don't realise that he's
And have
playing.
murdered the ambassador and turned him into pate.
Just for the podcasters, that has all been perfectly portrayed with hand signals, and there you go. That's part of your sign language that you've been learning as well. um, oh my god, in our first recording of this, both Chloe and I sat here practicing. What would you call it? British Sign Language, BSL.
Yeah, BSL.
Yeah, BSL, and we had a whole segment where we talked about um, blind users and visually impaired and deaf. Read through all of that. That's lost to the ether because I don't think we could ever go on that squirrel journey
Gone
ever again.
forever.
Um, if I can recover it, I'll put it up on something.
Yeah.
um, I'm going to get rid of those questions because she's asking far too much stuff on here. How did Red Dwarf influence the development of other sci-fi TV shows? See, she's been very specific.
Well, it absolutely did because obviously we had Doctor Who, but we didn't have any sitcoms in space. It wasn't a known thing at the time. It were Gareth Gwenlyn at the BBC who said it can't be done. It's not possible.
It's not
And
possible, yeah.
he told Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, no, this isn't going to be. It's not going to be good. So they created the term Gwenlyn as a curse word in Red Dwarf, purely based on Gareth Gwenlyn.
I didn't know that. See, you are a font of all knowledge. What I don't know about you. I think we've probably recorded a couple of hours worth of this now. I'm hoping we've covered everything off, and we're going to have you back weekly, monthly, whenever you're bored, really.
Yeah, I love that.
And I've got to say it. I find doing the podcast really therapeutic and much less. I don't find it as hard work to do the podcast as I do for a TikTok.
I know
And
what you mean. Yeah. I mean, for a TikTok, I'm sat there going, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
mm,
On a podcast, it just sort of spews out.
well, I can show you how to make the podcast. It is super simple. I'm using a program called Anchor. Look up Anchor. It will load the podcast out to Apple and Spotify and Amazon, and it puts them all out there, and it doesn't cost you any money. So
Yeah.
up until now, I thought it cost me money. So hopefully this is a really interesting episode 2 for people, and hopefully we'll be able to get a live studio audience off the back of it. We'll get you doing a podcast, sitting here just spouting for 1 hour's worth of stuff. I think you'd be fantastic at it.
I'd love to do something like that.
Well, we can always do it together. That works as well. So, I'm very happy to have you on here on a regular basis because when I go and watch movies, I think I've told you I'm watching a movie every Monday for 2023.
Yeah.
So going to the cinema, and I want to tell people about it. So as long as I don't ruin the movies for you too much.
Oh, I'm happy to hear it. Genuinely, I don't mind spoilers. I really don't. Unless if I expressively say I don't want to hear a spoiler, I will ask for every little detail.
Okay, well that
I love it.
works.
I watch all these movie reviews on YouTube because oftentimes they can tell you some things that you didn't know about the film,
Yeah,
even if you've watched it like a million times.
yeah.
They're like, oh, but did you know that behind the scenes this happened? I'm like, I did not know that.
I'll
Now I
watch for
do.
it, and I'll watch for it in the show. Yeah, I'm completely the same. I love to ruin a film for myself by watching it and going, see, he's wearing a watch. He's wearing a watch, and it's prehistoric times. I've seen it, and I'll always do that, and I take great pleasure in ruining the film for friends. I'll try not to do that on here, but there's a possibility. But
Oh, I
I've
do.
been honestly, I've been to see. I think I'm going to keep on saying I'm going to end the podcast, but I need to tell you these things. I've been to see, I think, 12 movies so far,
Oh,
um,
wow.
which, considering I never get a chance to go and see movies ever, I never ever get a chance to go and see a film. And I was just trying to click the button to tell you what they were because memory means I have no idea what I've been to see. Um, I've been to see. I was going to say Black Panther,
Black
Wakanda.
Panther.
Yeah, Black Panda could be a great spin-off. Um, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which was amazing. I went to go and see the new Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was missing like anything exciting, but
Oh, that's a shame.
it connects the stories. That was about it. But what I said is, if you are a teenager and you want to go and watch it, it's cracking. It's great. If you're a movie critic, They'll moan about it as they do with
Mm.
everything. I went to go and see that Babylon.
Oh yeah.
For me, I'm an old man. I was like, it was just the biggest load of trash. Just self-loving. I think was the word. I looked back at it.
Pretentious.
Yeah, pretentious. It was like they'd
Mhm.
stop and they go, right, okay, this bit's going to be an Oscar pitch, right? And you could see the scene set up. It's totally different, and it's almost, yeah, it was almost like a pitch to the camera with emotion for that scene. And
Yeah.
I said if they deleted every scene with Brad Pitt out of it, they deleted the first 30 minutes of debauchery out of it, and they just focused on Margot Robbie's character and I can't remember the other gent's name, and the male interaction that she has with him.
Yeah.
Then it's a really nice storyline, but it's like they tried to squeeze it all together and try and be a bit off the wall.
What did it end up being about? 'Cause I've seen the trailer and I've seen a lot of like clips of it, and I had no idea what the whole basis was.
You know what? That's the problem with it because everyone said to me, "Oh, I love the films that he made because he made La La Land. I knew I'd love it." And that's not the way to go and watch a film. You watch it for the film, not what he's done before. Um, the basic crux of Babylon is silent movie stars like a Charlie Chaplin, and
Yeah,
it's based off a true story, by the way. So it's based off a
I heard that.
true
Yeah,
yeah, based off of true actors, um, and it's their transition from being in a black and white with no words to being in the talkies. And this beautiful, stunning woman that's done all of the silent movies, she comes on and she's like, "Wah," and she got like a really terrible, like Brooklyn accent. And that's the last time I ever do the voice.
yeah.
But
I heard that was a big problem when obviously they started doing movies with sound. A
yeah,
lot of the actors, the voices didn't seem to actually fit the
that was it.
fit the narrative or fit the character.
And that's what happened. And then so the whole thing is the bit that could have been an amazing storyline. It's the journey from that being one side to being with audio with color, and that was a lovely storyline. But then they had Toby Maguire in it as like some cocaine dealer, and it added nothing to it other than they went, "Oh, we've got Toby Maguire in it. We've got Brad Pitt in it." I,
Yeah, they just wanted to throw a bunch of names at you and be like, "This is a masterpiece."
yeah, yeah, and I've loved Brad all my life. He was, I'm a child of the '90s. He's the quintessential action hero, and I thought about it. I was like, I can't remember anything he's done good since maybe Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think that was the last one that was actually good, or maybe Ocean's 11, whichever one came first.
Mm.
Um, I loved like Meet Joe Black. That was amazing. I loved Benjamin Button, all that sort of stuff. And then he started doing this stuff with George Clooney, and it just went
Mm.
downhill rapidly. Should we talk about? We could talk about movies in our next episode because
Oh, I'd love that.
I know you've got a life to get on with, and we can't talk about Red Dwarf every time. Um, so I can tell you all about Cocaine Bear and the craziness that
Oh my
happened
God,
there.
okay.
Oh my god! Again, it's a true story about a bear
Based on a
that
true story.
ate cocaine. It's Yes, he does chase butterflies and chaos and stuff. But we will do that for next time we have you on. We will talk about movies and some of the
Absolutely.
chaos. You're on this side of me, so I'll talk to you there. Thank you very much. Did you want to do a little mini plug of your channel? Because I think as you're here, you could tell people why
Okay,
they should tune in.
so yeah, so I'm on TikTok, which is basically my only platform at the moment. Might change later, who knows? And it's live.studio.audience.
Perfect,
So
perfect.
yeah,
And it's just Chloe basically. It's there's Red Dwarf stuff on there. There's been bits about you dressed up in pantomimes up on the stage, which was hilarious.
yeah, I
Uh,
played Prince Charming.
and there's something the other day that made me grin as well. Just generally, I really enjoy watching your channel. It's one of the few that I sit down. I'm like, oh cool, what's Chloe put on today? It's one of the ones that I tune in to watch myself. So yeah, it's been lovely.
Oh, bless you.
Uh,
Well, I love watching your videos as well, so
Oh, well, that works nicely.
yeah,
So
sure.
what I'll do is I'll say, stay safe and stay awesome to the audience, and I will see you again very soon.
Yep, absolutely. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. And she waves just to finish the audio podcast. The way it's been, she will wave goodbye one more time.